All right, so hi. How's it going? All right, so what we're gonna do is okay. I've never done this before, so I'm going to attempt to do Northern Lights. Uh, this is a 18 by 24 canvas. This is black acrylic gesso on the canvas. I pre-painted this and let it dry. Basically, that's just a primer. And I'm going to be using titanium white, okay, Dyke Brown, Ivory Black, Phthalo Blue, Alizarin Crimson, and Phthalo Green. Okay, I'm going to be using basically just 6 colors. Trying to. Let me grab my water here. I'll try to stay out of the way of the camera as much as possible. I have ordered a proper easel, so hopefully that will arrive within the next week or so. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a background on here. We're going to do Alizarin Crimson in this section. We're going to do Phthalo Blue, and then we're going to do Phthalo Green over here. All right. So let me grab a brush. I think I want this one. And we'll start with, we're going to mix up a little bit of black. We're going to take some, well, you really can't see the palette, but it's over here. Over here. So I'm going to take some black. I'm going to take it out here to the middle. I'm going to take some crimson, mix it into the black in a little section. So I'm doing this step by step because a lot of people actually don't show this whole part. I think they should, but they don't. So you never know. Probably gonna need to thin this down a little bit too. Let's see. So we'll come up here to the top. I'm just gonna brush it lightly on. So this is black and alizarin crimson in this section here. This is where we start getting messy right from the get-go. So it's about a half and half of the black and the red. This section here. You may, and actually, you're probably not really going to see it on the camera because it's very dark. But trust me, it's happening. So I'm going to take a little bit more black. And I'm going to take some blue. And what this does, it creates a background color for when I do some other stuff here. Alright, so I'm gonna, with the same brush, I'm just going to take the black and the blue. I'm going to start blending it in over to this section. Sort of blending it in. I mean, my red, although you can't see it on the camera, my red is like right in here. I'm just blending the blue and the black over into this section as well, like a blend color. I'll come back and look at your comments and stuff here in just a second here. Get this down. I'm taking it to about the center of the canvas, which would be about right there. That's about my center. That's as far down as I want to go with this. Now I'm going to take my green, my Phthalo Green, and my black. I'm going to mix it up over here. A little bit more green. I want it more green than I want it black. That's about right. Mix it with the same brush. It puts all the colors on there, which is fine. And we'll start blending it in over here. That's about right. All right, And then what I'm going to do, so I have a red, a blue, and a green. Looks the same, pretty much the same on the camera, but it is a little bit different. So now I'm going to take my brush strokes out somewhat. Down here, I'm going to, now I can see the mild transition, and you'll see it when I actually start adding the white to it. Down here, I'm going to add Phthalo Blue and Black. I want to weten this canvas. So let me grab that and mix it up real quick. Phthalo Blue and my Black right there. All right. Nice transparent colors. All right. Take my blue down here. Now, if I screw all this up, it's fine. Rag on me. But you really can't screw this up. I mean, you can make it ugly, but you really can't screw this up. And behind here, this section right here is the last three paintings. There's one I'm working on, which is this one. But these last three right here have been sold, so I'm very happy about that. Oh, we got some red in there. That's fine. It'll blend out. I'll tell you what, Facebook could be a great place to sell your art. If people like what you do, I'm just going to put that out there. Any artist, look into Facebook. I mean, I'll find Facebook useful for much of anything. But it has certainly helped sell actually all of my pieces of art so far. I've completed 6 paintings. No, make that 7 paintings. I gave one away for charity. And the rest have sold for quite a bit. Alright, there we go. Now we're in. So, the canvas right now is completely, you could say wet, okay? It has a coat of paint on it. It's oil based, so it will do, and it's thin, okay? When I first started trying to learn how to paint, I wasted a lot of paint. And God, do I mean a lot of it. And oil paint is not cheap. It's just not. I mean, when I got mad at Bob Ross and said I could do it, when I first tried painting a Bob Ross thing, I think some of y'all might have seen it or not, it was horrible. And it got me mad. So I went and dropped $400 on supplies and said, I'm going to do this. I can make this happen. Try to keep my head out of the camera here, but I got to clean my brush. And I wasted so much paint and got so mad. And thank God, the first customer I had bought my first 3 paintings for $500 a piece. I did not put that number to them. They said, what's the size of the painting? And I want the first 3, and each one of them went for $500 a piece. And that kind of set the bar. And scraped up some of my excess paint here. Move that out of the way. Let me move this over here. So that person buying each painting for $500 a piece, now not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, none of that stuff, not really knowing me, she just liked what she saw and wanted them, and wanted my first 3. So, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, for real. They're now hanging up in her office. She sent me a picture of it. I thought it was very, very cool. I mean, some people never sell a piece of art ever, and I don't know. She really liked it, and I'm cool with that. So don't think that you can't sell something. All right, my next move is to basically I want to map out. I want to map out where I want to do this. Okay, so I want to do my northern lights. I want my center to be, grab a little bit of this. If I look at my center, I want to be about right here. That's going to be pretty much where I want to get to. I want my lights to start out here to the left, and I want to focus it right down here to the center point. Okay, that's where I want to go with it. So before I do that, I need to sort of see how I'm going to do it. So if I'm going to start over here to the top left, how many ribbons do I want? How do I want to lay this out before I actually start putting paint on here? So let's take a look. If I come let's see if I start here, go to there, start over here, and say here. Now, you can't really see that, and you can't hardly see that. Sorry, I'm my chair back. I want to get a good look at this. I like this line that I sort of made. I like this. Well, I don't really like that one. So if I come over here, you can't see this, but I can. It's just very faint. Kind of dig that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of, basically, it's called liquid white. Now, in the old days it was called magic white, but what it is a very thin down, basically white. And I'm going to mix it with titanium white, which is a thicker white. So, here. So on my palette, that's a titanium white right there. So I'm going to take some, of the liquid white, which is very thin, and I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to take some of the titanium and I'm going to mix it on down in there. I want it to be nice and thin. Okay? Get it away from that Dyke Brown there. I'm just going to blend it together. I don't want it to be thick. I want it to be nice and thin so I can move it around. And if I screw up, I screw up. Trust me, I've screwed up plenty learning how to do this. Alright? So I'm going to take my fan brush and try not to knock everything over. And I want to go, get this thing out of the way here. I'm going to load my brush up, my fan brush, nice and thin. And I'm going to take my first run right here. Want it to be nice and bright up here, a little bit lighter down here. Now, you might be able to see it, well, you can't just yet, but you might be able to see, I'm already seeing the red transitioning to the blue before I've even done any blendings. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to do it like this. And I want to thin it. A nice curve right here. And I want to really thin it right to my center point. Right? And we'll thicken it up just a little bit up here. Make it thicker. And then we'll thicken it up right here where the transition is. Okay. Take a little bit more of the white, mix it with the titanium white. I'm going to do my next line, which will be, let's say, about right here. The thing about painting this style, and trust me, the hardest part for me was bringing depth in, establishing depth. It's just, you just can't. I mean, Bob Ross, I love that guy. But my God, if you've never done anything like this, it's a pain. Establishing basically the guy could do it in a half an hour, but the guy was also a master of this style of painting. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then we'll put one right over here. You've got to establish depth of field, or it just doesn't make any sense. Or it's just a flat painting. We'll go with that. You haven't established any depth to it, it's just flat. So you got to get depth. Now this looks crappy right now, and it may look crappy at the end, but we'll try not to let it look that way. Don't judge me. All right, so we're going to add some in there. And we'll bring it on down. All right. My next move is, well, hold on one second. I'm going to use this fan brush again, so I don't want to leave it dirty. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, Kelsey's here. I don't think I've ever spoken to Kelsey, but I was actually waiting for you can blow up my phone, Hensley. I'm on my other phone. Let's see. Hold on. No, can't do it on this. I'd make you a mod, Kelsey, but just to annoy Ike, but I can't do it on my phone right there. All right. Next move is I'm going to take the edge of my brush. Okay, I'm going to take this part here. Sorry, kitchen camera. This section right here. And basically, I'm as just light as a feather. Actually, you know what? Let me go get a camel hair brush. Let me use one of these. Nah, I don't like that one. So I'm just going to take this big brush right here, and on this section, this top line section here, I'm going to basically snap it up, just like this, just like that. Now you might be able to see in the camera now that there's some red popping in. All right, so snap. What I'm going to do in here, feed off my brush, snap. And I'll give you a closer look as we move on a little bit further. Snap. What I'm doing is I'm taking off the excess paint off my brush. I don't want it going everywhere. All right. Snap. Just snapping. I can snap it as far as I want to, because I am going to blend this. Come on down here. If y'all like to super chat, help me replace my painting supplies, by all means, feel free to. Of course, you know, YouTube takes 30% because they're bastards. Okay. All right, let me bring you a little bit closer here. You can see what I'm doing. All right, taking off the excess. Now it's very vibrant, it's very bright right now. So let me move this forward so you can see. Okay, very bright, very bright. You see the reds, you see the blues. So what I'm going to do is take this brush right here. Okay, this is just a 2-inch boar hair brush, and I'm going to blend. Okay, I'm going to blend across. Okay, so let's see what. Now this could go very, very wrong. if things ever go wrong, this is where it is. But you're blending, so it should be fine. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start at the top because that's going to be what's closest to us, and I want that to be as bright as possible. So let's do it. So we're going to go across. Just blending it out. What that's also doing is it's bringing color down in here. So I want to go all the way across. See, the kids are still awake and raising a little bit of hell upstairs. All right. Okay. All right, so now you should see, we get a different brush here. And we'll blend it a little bit softer. Alright, so let me bring it up here. Right, so you see the color variations. You got the white to the red to the blue, a little bit of green back here in the corner. Blend it out nice and softly. Now, if I'm not feeling it, what I could do is another round. Like that can be a background layer that I can put another layer on top of. If I want to make it like, how would you say it? If I wanted to make it like thicker, I could just come back in with my white, and I could blend it out, you know, wider, more encompassing of the area there, which I think I actually will do. This phone just hates me. Hold on, let me actually see what you guys are saying. Yeah, no, Kelsey, I'm not working off a pick. I'm just making it up as I go. Thanks, Daniel. What do you sell your paintings for? My first 3 sold for $500 each. Number 4, which is the same size as this, I sold for $400. 2 smaller ones I sold for $300 a piece, and they are signed and they are certified, COAs and all that good stuff. So I hold on to a certificate of authenticity, and they also get a certificate with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this thicker. So I'm going to come back in with my fan brush. Here's the great thing about oil paints is if you don't like something or you want to change something, you can. You have time because it's oil paint. It's not acrylic. Acrylics dry super fast. But we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the white. So I want these to be a little bit brighter, a little bit fuzzier. I want them to be thicker. That's a pretty good, you know, line there. So let me mix this up here. Well, how do I know what to price them for? At first I didn't. At first, to be honest, straight up with you, I didn't know what to price them for. I didn't know what people found value in. The first lady actually set the bar. She was like an art collector, or she liked paintings, and I spoke to other people after that who are in the art field. They said, yeah, that style of painting for that size, $500 to $800 is what you should sell these for. All right, so we'll come back in. Come back in, and we'll put a white streak right down the middle. So what I'm doing is I'm going to brighten that section up too. Brighten it up. Yeah, because I've never painted before, actually attempting this before. I didn't know. I didn't know what these things go for. Well, So I actually didn't actually set the price. Other people did. All right, so I'm just popping it to thicken the line up. I want this to spread fairly well. So I'm going to go back and pop it, snap it. And snap it down too. See if that helps. Yeah, get it nice and thick. I'll tell you what's surprising though is actually how much you have to secure these things when you ship them. When these other 3 back here dry, I got to pack them up and ship them. And you want your art to make it there, because it's not like it's coming from a factory. Okay, you want your stuff to make it, or you're going to have to either pay them back, or make them another one. But the next one you make will not be like the number one of a series sort of thing. So you really got to pack it right. All right, let me grab this right here. Well, I just keep dropping stuff. All right, so here we go. Get a little bit brighter, a little bit white. There we go, I like that. A little bit thicker. See, I like this right here. No, you can't see it. Hold on, give me a second. Let me finish blending and I'll show it to you. Get the excess off here. Soften it down, thicken it out. The pressure that you apply, you know, I'm going to have this fairly well faded. But a lot of it's going to be covered up. This is just the start of it, actually. Okay. All right, just so you can see how much it's spread and haloed out and sort of blurry. Hopefully that'll focus up. So that gives me my starting point of when I start putting the rest of the stuff on here. That's my center point. And I'm going to build over here. And I'm going to bury some of this in the background so it actually looks, you know, away. Let's see. Do you still drive truck? Yes. All right, so let me clean my fan brush while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Let me answer some questions here. I can see the blended white and red like eyeshadow blending. Not. I can see the blended white and red like, yeah. So it's kind of like you want that, yeah, you want the colors to blend out. You don't want any sharp or hard edges or anything like that. Now what I should do is grab another brush here real quick, because I can see at this angle I can see it needs to be blended down a little bit more. And here's something you should always do. Step away from your painting. I had to learn that to actually see what's going on with it. Step away, then come back. I don't know what's going on down there. Try and get it nice and smooth. The section that I really want nice and smooth, I mean, it all kind of matters, but is this section like right in here? Because you're going to see a lot of this, but you know, there's going to be some stuff covering this and this and this. All right, let me get that brush cleaned off real quick. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Johnny R. My bad. I think you probably asked that question a few times. I might have to just answer with probably not. Probably have not seen the pictures. Of course, my memory is garbage, so you know I might have. You never know. All right, let me get this brush cleaned off because I'm going to use it. Get my almost balding head out of the way. Oh, shoot. Just so you know, oil paints can be very, very messy. You don't want to wear good clothes. Just going to put that out there. Because it gets messy. John, correct. Camera is focusing. Yes, I know. Would a $9.99 buy that painting you're doing? No. $9.99. No, because you know if it got out there that I sold a painting for $9.99, it would devalue anything that I do. But I have ordered prints though, so I'm testing out the, because I mean these are all one-offs back here, so I'll probably never paint them again. So I took pictures and I'm having prints made. So one, that I could actually have, you know, a copy of, you know, something that I've done. And two, if people, you know, certainly don't want to spend $400 to $500 on a painting, they can spend, I don't know, $45 and have a print, and I'd sign it and send it off to them and all that good stuff. That's probably why that one lady wanted the first 3 paintings I did. All right, so we're gonna make a mountain. So let's make a mountain. Spatula. Great things can be done with a spatula. Kenneth probably says, I owe you a phone call. Probably. I probably owe like 100 people a phone call. Alright, so I'm going to take some black, some Dyke Brown, and some, what I want. So take some Dyke Brown, some black. I want it really dark. I'm going to take some crimson too. I don't want that much crimson. I'm going to put the crimson over here. I want this thing dark. We're going to do a mountain. And while I'm blending, you'll notice, let me get a little bit closer but not get my head in the image way here, or the way of the image. So I'm going to take a mountain. I'm going to make a mountain. I'll make a mountain about right here. So I don't want to cover up this center point, but I do. Now here's something. Why am I putting a mountain here? If you're into photography or stuff of that nature, you'll understand what the rule of thirds is. Okay, the eye is interested in something, not here. A rule of thirds is if you grid lined this painting, or if you were focusing on something out there to take an image of, the rule of thirds is placing that object into a grid, a third that takes up a third of, you know, the canvas, because it's more interesting to the eye, and it allows you to lead the person who's looking at it along, like in a path. It allows the eyes to rest and to be led somewhere. So things centered are not as interesting as something that is done in a third. And that's why you hear the phrasing of the rule of thirds of something of that nature. All right, I was very nerdy for you, sorry. Yeah, actually, Kenneth, I actually just ordered an easel like 2 days ago. The one I was using was pure garbage. Let's see, so how high do I want to go? I don't want to really go that high. I want to go about right here. So let me make a decision here. As people say, make a decision. So I'm making a decision. I'm going to go about right here. I'm going to press this thing in. I'm pressing it hard. Okay. And I want to do, well, I mean, I can do anything I want. How do I want it to look? So you got to make that sort of decision there. So I want to go like about right there. About right there. And you want to add dimension. So you don't want to go crazy and just do a, you know, some nonsense. But you want to add dimension to it, you know, put some movement into it. I'm going to come out, bring it a little bit lower. Oh, here. Oh, I picked up some blue in that, but that's fine. Press real hard. All right, there. And how far do I want to go? I don't really want to want to go too far. All right, press right there. I want to take my right there. Let me get that blue out of there. I might have pressed a little too hard there. Just bring some of that down. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically push the excess off. So basically I'm just splatting it on. And I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to take this brush actually. And what I'm going to do, what do I like, is I want to follow the, basically the angle of the mountain here. Take that like, just like that. That's taking the excess off. We'll take this one right here. I'm going to do it like this. Just like that. Just like that. I don't know what you can't really see that, but you will after I do the highlight here. You'll see that. You'll see what's happened here. I don't want to go any further down than that. All right, so I'll lift it up just so you can see sort of what I've done. Let's see if you. All right, so you can sort of see it here. All right, it's kind of like a layout. Right. Let's see. All right, you guys are talking about. All right, I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right, so I'm gonna take my palette knife, and I'm gonna mix up. Basically, I'm gonna do a light color on the front of the mountain, and a darker color highlight, and then a secondary highlight. Right. Of course, if you ever watched Bob Ross, you know what's about to happen here. But you haven't watched me, you might just see me just completely jack this all up. Don't be surprised. All right, so I'm gonna take a nice bit of the white, and I'm gonna take some of the blue. You know what? Let me get a clean blue. I don't want to jack all that up. I want to get some clean. No, I don't want it too clean. Never mind. Indecision time. I'm being indecisive. I'm going to add a little bit more blue. I'm going to add a little blue. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to make it happen. Just a little bit. Phthalo Blue is very pigmented. Move it over in here. Let me make this. Very, very pigmented. I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see it over here. Now this is where a lot of people screw up, even me. I screw up quite often with this. But they go too hard. And Bob's not kidding when he says it's the lightest touch. All right, so I'm going to use that blue, this blue here, this where you see my finger at. I'm going to use that one as a highlight, and I'm going to take a little bit over here, add a little bit more white as my front highlight. Mix it up here. I want a little bit lighter. just like this. Scraping up a little bit. Alright, so here we go. This is where things get really ugly. With the lightest touch, and you really can't really explain that till you've done it, but with the lightest touch, because you don't want to do, when I say light, I mean I'm hardly even holding this thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of it. Basically, I'm just dragging it down. I'm not adding any weight to it, just letting it drag. Now, when I say lightest touch, this is what a lot of people do, is they're basically painting onto it. So, and to fix that, just do that. Take the excess off. The lightest touch. It ain't got to be perfect. Don't even look for perfect. I actually don't even like this knife for that. Let me use my other knife. Yeah, this is the lighter knife here. Let's use a lighter one. That one's actually kind of thick. I need my titanium. I'm going to just thicken it. I don't want that one. I want that one. So we're going to thicken it up just a little bit because I got too much of the liquid white in there. So we're going to thicken it up. There we go. I like that much better. Alright, so we're going to go, yeah, much better. Get over to here. Little bit of rockiness happening. Basically, you just want to move your knife around to where it feels good. I mean, there's no set plan to this. You just make it happen. If you don't like what's happening, change it. It's a great thing about oil paints. You can just change it. If I don't like anything that's happening here, I can wipe this whole canvas and start over because everything's still wet. Alright, so we're going to do the, like I don't like this right here. I like the texture of it. I don't like the way it's sitting though. So let's do it like this. Change it. Now I like that better. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to take my darker color, which is where you see my finger to the left here. I'm I'm going to start, I'm going to do some highlights in the back. It's a little bit darker. So I'm just going to come in. Let's see that. I don't like that, it's too blue, so I want to darken that up. So let me get some, let's see, some black. Let's darken that up just a bit. Yeah, that's way too bright. That'll work. So let me just do it like that. Oh, let me get that excess off of there. So we're going to come in there like that. And I can just cover that. All right. And I'm going to come up here at the tip. And just gently pull it. I'll put some more over here and get some of that blue out of there. I'll come over here. Get my big dumb head out of the way. Take a little more right there. And I'm going to set that off right there. Alright, we'll come up in here, give it a little bit more. A little bit of a highlight back here. We're going into the darkness, so it's fine. We don't really need to do a bunch. Let me get that very bright blue out of there. I don't like it. All right, there we go. It's fine to leave some of it, but I don't want a bunch of it in there. I want it to have texture, but I don't want it to be like, oh my God, what the hell is that? I don't know, I can't answer that for you. It's a screw up, what can I tell you? All right. Is Kelsey still, I don't know, is Kelsey still here? Is everybody, wait a minute, I'm sitting here, you know, trying to paint and teach things and be cool guy, and everybody hitting on Kelsey, is that what's happening? Is that, all right, let me see. Did y'all run Kelsey off? What? Oh, well, okay. Kelsey, don't you just tell them all to shut up if they start hitting on you too hard. I use either Blick or I'll use Gamblin. I actually have quite a mixture of paints, so you know whatever's on sale is what I'll buy because this stuff's way expensive. Gamblin 1980 is cheap. Blick, I recommend if you have a Blick store near you, go to Blick and buy their stuff. If I mean, I don't know where you're at on painting, but like I said, even the cheap stuff's expensive. So, you know. All right, so I'm gonna take a brush. I need a brush. I need a good brush. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap it on down. What I'm going to do is create mist, basically. So I'm going to come down here and tap. I'm following the lines that I created. So I want to mist the area here. Change it up over here. same brush. All right. Basically setting this back for my next Uber Super J move. Okay. All right, so actually let me get a soft brush here. Let me have a soft one. Do I have a soft one? Take it. All right, there we go. I'll kick him out. They did. No disrespect to Kelsey. I don't know you, Kelsey, but yeah, I'm not one of the. I'm not one of those guys who likes for that to happen. And I just dumped paint all over my new shoes. That was stupid. Y'all can look at my bald spot for a second. All right. Now I don't have as many brushes as Bob Ross does. I mean, that dude had like an arsenal of brushes sitting there. Of course, he did 3 paintings in a sitting. I'm just doing one, but there are brushes that I prefer. All right, so now we're going to do is we're going to put a tree line in this section here. And we're going to do it lower because I want it to set the mountain back. Everything's done in layers. All right, let me go ahead and bring this up for you. All right, that way you can see what it looks like right now. Okay. We'll just keep going as we go. As you can see, oil paints get really messy. I should be wearing gloves, but I don't. All right, let me see what you guys are talking about before we move on to the next step. Got my handy dandy phone right here. I'm a truck driver. I can deal with it. No, I hear you, Kelsey. I hear you. Yeah, I recognize most of the people who are in here. They're good guys. What brush type is the best? It would be boar's hair. You need for this style of painting, you need a very stiff brush. Soft brushes just don't work. So a boar's hair, I would go ahead and recommend a boar's hair. Like this. Now this is a Blick Mega Brush. This is a boar's hair. No, actually this is a synthetic, but it's very stiff. And this is and I love this brush. This is a Blick 40. And these band brushes are all boar's hair, very stiff, very resilient. If you want to just knock the crap out of some stuff. And all these are, basically, very stiff, cheap brushes you can buy at any hardware store. I don't recommend getting, foliage and large brushes at paint stores or paint supply stores or artist stores. Just buy them in bulk for very cheap, and then look for very good boar hair brushes at art stores. You're going to spend a lot of money. I mean, there's just no way around that, but you are going to spend a lot of money. All right, everybody cool with me taking about a 6-minute break? Yeah. Oil, well, okay. The trick with oil painting, and here's a true statement. Oil painting is fantastic for blending. It's also fantastic for layering because you got a lot of time. I could walk away from this and 2 days from now I can still blend. Where an acrylic is dry in 5 minutes. For layering, whatever I put on top needs to be thinner than what I put below. So while this is all, the background and stuff of that nature, when I start doing highlights and stuff, that paint needs to be thinner. So that's something you got to remember. So if I put in a very dark, section of foliage, I need to thin down what I'm going to put on top of that so that it actually sticks to the paint. So it's great for both. You know, it's great for blending. It's also great for layering. Where acrylic is, you got to get it on there and get it done rather quickly and be fast. Now, I don't want to be fast. I mean, I can come back like this painting here that I've been working on. I've been working on that for a couple of weeks because, I don't know, there's just something about it I'm not digging. So I just let it dry, and then I can just come back and paint on it again. But you can, of course, you can do that with acrylics too. But I like having the time to be able to manipulate and move the paint around. Let's see. Long hair picking me was awesome. I did have some hair. How long until it dries? Depending on how thick of paint, which is not really that thick, on average, I won't clear coat it until about 3 weeks. I'll let it sit for 3 weeks, keep everything away from it, and then I'll come in with either a semi or a satin or, you know, a full gloss varnish. So I give it about 3 weeks. I mean, I touch it all during the process of the 3 weeks, see how it feels, you know. But yeah, I don't mess with things for, you know, a 3 week period. You gotta keep it away. Pick crazy times. What is the badass painting? Nice work. Thanks there, El Bandito. Yeah, oil paintings can take up to, you know, depending on the mixture. I mean, they could take up to actually fully dry. It could take like 6 to 7 months but for it to be dry enough to add, you know, it needs to be dry to the touch as long as it's not, you know, a massive amount of paint that's on the canvas. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back within 5 minutes. So I'm going to do a line of trees. Actually, now that I'm looking at this section right here, I don't really like what I'm seeing there. So let me see if I can blend that down a little bit better. It's always good to leave and then come back and look at your painting. I don't really like what I'm seeing. Ah, there we go. I like that. Much better. There we go. Yeah, see, this little section right here is bugging me. It's bugging me. But you know what? I can make it work. Of course, everything falls. Blend it out a little bit better. I want my mist to be a little more misty. I knew a girl named Misty once. She was a fine lady. Alright. Alright. I can live with that. That I can live with. Ready. Alright, so I'm gonna take some Ivory Black. Ivory Black. Take some Dyke Brown. That's titanium. I don't want that. Some Dyke Brown. Let me move my head a little bit so it actually gets back into focus here. Ivory Black, some Dyke Brown, and a little bit of blue. I want this to be nice and dark. A little bit of blue. And I'm going to blend it on my palette. I want it to go really dark. For a 6-pack. Thanks, Daniel, for a 6-pack of Zimas. I appreciate the super chat there, Daniel. 6-pack of Zimas, 10-4. 10-4. That's funny. You know, I haven't drank any Zimas since that time. They're just disgusting. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Alright, so I'm going to take a fan brush. And I'm going to load this brush right on up. Get it loaded. Yeah, I shouldn't have drank Zimas. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Alright, so I got my brush loaded up. And I'm coming here. You won't be able to really see this because it'll be very, very dark, but that's alright. I'm going to come in here. And I'm just going to make little trees. Little line of trees. I'll get some more paint there. Come over here and do it as well. You don't have to be, doesn't have to be all glorious because these are background trees. Some are big, some are small. Large, some are tall. All right. All right. Then I'm going to take a little bit of white. I'm going to use some of my liquid white over here, and I'm going to use my other fan brush to, you know what, I shouldn't use this one just yet. I'm going to use this one. Use the one I got the black on there. Yeah, I'll use that one, that's fine. Just a little bit of white. And what I'm going to do is, at the bottom of these, is I'm just going to give it a quick whip. And I'm going to take the excess off of my brush, and I'm going to come back. What it's going to do is going to blend this back in. Right there. Blend it a little bit more. Give it a little bit of tree trunk depth. Let me bring this up for you. All right. Nice and dark, lower than the mist. It sort of puts the mountain in the distance. Makes it look like these very dark trees back here. You know, gives a nice shadow and makes it look like they have tree trunks. A little trick I learned from Bob Ross. Thank you, Mr. Ross. You were a god among men when it came to wet on wet painting. And we'll blend it down just a little bit more. I don't want them to be so bright. There we go. All right, let's see, before we move on to the next section here. Any questions? Really need to try anybody? Just try one. Okay, next step. Oh my God, you already talking about alcohol. It was mostly a chick drink in the 90s. Very, very true. Wonder how I would paint after some Patron. Oof, bad A. I'm painting like Andy Warhol after that. Yes, I do need an easel. It should be on the way. Zima's guaranteed hangover drink. Very, very true. See a 6-pack of Zima spray Cuervo. Oh, I have a bottle of. See, now I love tequila. I love a good tequila. Yes, Alright, so before we start talking about just booze, I hope you do more of these videos. Well, I probably will, I'm sure. I enjoy doing them. Yeah, enough of the nonsense of the drama stuff. I mean, you can only do so much of those, then people just start getting annoyed. Alright, so we'll take some titanium white. It's time to start bringing in some land down here. I'm using a half mixture of titanium white and my liquid white. So I want it to be nice and thin. I want to be able to move it. I'm loading up my fan brush pretty heavy. Let's see here. Alright, so I'm going to bring in some land in here. Or grass, or however you want to say it. Whatever you think it is. I'm going to start bringing it in right into here. Basically, I'm just tapping. Bringing in some snow. Let's see. Let me think about right there. Basically, I'm just adjusting as I need to. Now, here's a big thing that a lot of people, well, me included, have made mistakes on when you're learning how to do this. Is you need to leave the black in there. You need to leave that dark area, that contrast. You need to leave that. I mean, that's what really makes it happen for you. And it took me a while to really understand that. Like, leave it. Leave it alone. Okay, let me bring him around about right here. Okay, go right around there. And as you're leaving a section, like this, it gets darker because it's going away. It's going into the darkness. See what I'm saying over here? Like, this is very bright, and that's fine, but it's forward. But as it goes out, it needs to get darker. Things need to go, the way they're supposed to go. Okay. So let's go into here. And this. See how I'm making. See how my angles are going right now? I'm not coming up down here and then going like this. I'm building away from myself. And that took me quite a while to figure out as well. It takes a lot of people, quite a while to figure that thing out of building a layer. Here, I'll hold it up so you can actually see this a little bit better. All right. All right, so you should be able to sort of see what I'm going for here. You see what's happening? I'm building a layer. All right. I've now, with this layer that I've just done, and I'm going to build another layer. I'm actually going to build quite a few layers. I've buried the first layer of trees. Those trees with the mist has buried the mountain. The Aurora Borealis, has depth. Okay. So from this point, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to get crazy with it, right? So once you start getting crazy with it, well, then you just got a bunch of crazy that doesn't make any sense. All right, so I've built my depth. Right there. Now you'll see that, now I can make this center which would be about right there. I don't want it centered. Nature's not centered. You know, there's nothing in nature has its way of, you know, doing things, and being centered is not what nature does. Now, I'm in my rule of thirds here with the mountain. That's something that's interesting to look at. I have a place to rest. My eye can go down this way. It doesn't really go this way, but it does certainly go this way. So I'm going to give a focal point off center of a water feature. So let's take a clean brush. I have a clean brush. Yes, I do. I'm going to take a white, just a clean brush. And from this point, I'm going to go, let me have just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit of white on my brush. I'm going to come right in here, right here. I'm going to pull straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down. From my center, straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down. It's important to go straight down because that's your reflection. Okay. Straight down. Okay. Then we'll take my brush and I'm going to gently, all right, gently go across it. So now I should have a reflection. All right. It's very light, and you want it light. You want it faded. You want it to blend. That light's shining on it too much. I don't know if you can actually see it. Put it at an angle. All right, so you see the reflection, and now you see where the water is. Very light reflection. All right. So that gives you the water, the reflection of the water. What's up, Shape? How you doing, girl? Kenneth, do you have all the Ross's vids, or do you use YouTube? Well, I started using YouTube on Ross's vids, and then I realized that I really couldn't do it the way he did it because my brain sort of works backwards. Now this is fairly much like a Ross painting that I watched a couple of weeks ago. Just remembering, how he sectioned it off and stuff of that nature. But it's hard for me to do it the Bob Ross way because my brain doesn't function like that. I don't know if that makes any sense. He makes it look easy. But trust me, there's a painting sitting in a dumpster somewhere that I put my fist through. That wasn't a good day. Trust me. Let's see. I would change my pick. That's an old pick. Okay. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to add a little bit of stuff in here. So I love how I just went all technical. I want to add some stuff in here. So I'm going to take a little bit of blue. I'm going to take some of my white. and some blue. Take some Prussian blue. Now this particular move can be a little bit daunting as well. But I'm gonna be straight up with you. I had a lot of nights of being very mad at painting before some of this kicked in. I'm not even kidding. Oh my God. Alright, so I'm going to take, I think I got too much on there. I think I need some more white. Jay, please call me Ken. Okay, sort of in the middle of something there, Ken, but I know what you're saying. Actually, send me a text, Ken. Shoot me a text. Let me grab a little bit more titanium white. And I'm not going to do a lot to this water because I like a good reflection. So, you know, why mess with it? Let me see here. Alright, so I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to come in. That's a little bit too much on there. Move that off of there. It's going to get messy. I'm just going to come in right into here. Basically, I'm making a water line. And you want to keep your lines straight, okay? Because that's going to build your depth of field. Okay. You don't want to go crazy. You just want to build. Like, this is way too much paint right here. I went a little globby right there, but what I can do is I can stretch it out. Just stretch it out. If it goes too crazy, all right. See how a little bit really adds to what's happening. Just a little. Put a little bit of motion, not a lot. I don't want to really screw up the reflections. A little bit of motion in the water. Alright. What we got going here? He's defining visually where the shoreline, yes. And the highlights are yes. I need to change my, okay, so I want to print that, Jay, please. Alright, yeah, not a problem. As things dry, I take pictures of them. So, the aspect ratio. Let me move this up for you so you can actually see it. So, let's see if I can get the reflection off of there. So what I've done, try to get it to where I'm looking at a monitor so you can see it as good as I can. Let me turn the light down. There we go. That's a little bit better. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm creating levels, all right? So you can see where I'm at now with this particular level. See the reflection in the water. I'm coming forward, and then I can either drop, I can create something that drops, or I can, you know, create something forward that buries this into the background and builds depth. I don't have an image to go off of. I'm just kind of doing this live right now. So I'm not really thinking. It's kind of what the cool thing about painting is. I'm just kind of thinking of what do I like. what's happening that I like. You know, that's what I'm doing. Turn the light back up. Make me an offer, Arturos. If you would like to seal it in right now, make me an offer. And I hope I don't screw it up before, you know, before this is over. All right. Let's see. So, how far do I? All right, I'll let y'all pick. I'll let y'all pick this. Do we want a waterfall, or do we want to sort of build something in the foreground? Do I want to do a waterfall, which I do a lot of waterfalls, or just seal it and make it nice and calm and, you know, serene? Starting to think that I want to do. Well, I know I'm going to do something here and something here. But how much? How much am I going to do it there? Yeah, let's not waterfall this. Let's not do calm and serene. Yeah, let's go calm and serene. I'm starting to feel calm and serene. So let's do that. All right, so I'm going to take a brush. So I really don't need to do anything else here. Okay, you need to know when to stop on a particular section and start building again. So I don't need to do anything else here. I need to start building out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some more black, which I already have a black over here. Not enough, but I have a black. We'll scrape up what I have. Let's see there. I'm gonna add a little bit more ivory to it. Okay, I'm gonna add some. Oh, there went my car keys. A little bit of blue. Just a little bit. I want it to go really dark. All right, take my brush. I'm gonna mix this in. Nice and dark. All right. All right, so what's going to bring this forward, well, basically what's going to bury this is me coming into this section here. Like say, let's go ahead and just load my brush up here. And we'll take the corner about right here. If I come into here and I bring it down to about right there. Decision time. What do I think? What do I feel? All right, so I'm gonna come about right here. I'm gonna come to here, okay, because I'm gonna do this layer, then I'm gonna do another layer. So if I come right here, now fan brushes can be very temperamental. Okay, let me show you what I did. All right, so this is basically a tree in black, all right? And I'm going to leave it mostly black. I'm going to bring another one in, probably about right here. Or I could put one back here, it doesn't really matter. But how I did that was I took the tip, the very tip, it should be, you know, this tip right here, and came in just tap. And as I came down, I got wider and wider and harder on my brush. Okay, so basically I just did like this, and my pressure, you know, if I had a good easel, my pressure just picked up and got harder till I was basically slamming this into the canvas at the end. All right, so I'm gonna do another one, but first let me fill that little section right there in. All right, load up some more black. No, Johnny, she's an acrylic expressionist artist. She doesn't work in oils or anything of that nature. You damn wizard. Yeah, it's funny, Kelsey. One of the kids calls me a wizard. He comes in there and says, "When did you paint this? You're a freaking wizard." I'm like, okay, calm down. I'm not that good. All right, so we're going to come into here. Well, I can't do it. Okay, I wish I could bring this camera closer. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put another tree in just to the left, make the depth or the height a little bit lower. Yeah, alternating heights, you know, because nature does that. Is key. All right. All right, now I'm starting to rotate in. And I'm starting to slam it. And I've slammed it. Okay. That gives me my second tree. Right there. Alright. I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'll come back to that later. I will highlight those so that they actually pop in. They're going to be a darker color than what I got coming onto the front. So let's bring, what do we want to do? We want to do this section over here. So I'm going to bring a couple trees in over here. Thanks, Gessoed Blood. Appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to bring some trees in over here. They're going to feel like they're more forward. And I'll pull this up as soon as I get them in. But let me drop down, or I can go large. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna get a little weird with it. All right, start my rotation. And why I'm slamming it is because I want the paint to press in over the white and the blues and stuff of that nature. So you can see right there. See how it pressed, me pushing, adding all that pressure? Put it right up and on in there so that it really didn't pick up too much on my paintbrush. I'm gonna add another one as well. It's gonna be a large one. All right, so I'm gonna put a big one right here. Right there. Yeah, I don't like the way that's going. Hold on. I need some more fan brushes. Yeah, nice one, J-State. I like the way you're thinking there. I like the way you're thinking. Alright, so I'm going to start widening this one out. This one's going to be rather large. Something else you need to remember is you got to build separation. All right, let me put this up here so you can see it. You got to create separation. Okay, see how there's distance in between these two trees, and it's overlapping, so that when I come in to highlight, I'm gonna the light sources is over here. Okay, so I'll highlight this side, but I won't highlight the back. I'll come in a little bit, and I'll highlight this side and this side, but you got to leave that dark in there so that it pops. You need that separation of light and dark. You got to have it. All right, so that gives me a couple trees over here, a couple trees over here. Now, here's what we're going to do. I like the. Let me do examples here. And I'm going to take a quick break. All right, that way you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we got a line here. We got this is sitting right here. Okay, that's a layer, right? So I want to build another layer forward. Okay, so to do that, I need to come over here and bring it into here. All right, so by bringing it over here, that pushes this back, gives it depth. Same thing here. All right, I don't need to push any more here. I got two trees, nice trees, but I can bring bushes and shrubs into here, down in this section, and that'll push that back. It's all about the layering to bring that depth of field. And that's why people love this style of painting. That's why I grew up loving this style of painting. It just like the gentleman said there, it's magical. There you guys, let's see what you okay, I see what you are doing. Can I paint an old peat in a hayfield? I don't know. I'm not a painter. Well, I am a painter now, but I don't know what I can do, honestly. I couldn't tell you. All right. So before I get started on that, I'm going to bring a big tree into this section here. And I just rub my stupid dumb fingers all over it. And honestly, you should wear gloves when you do this type of stuff. But hey. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black. Mix up a little bit more. I have learned to seriously not put more paint on here than I'm going to use. Because like I said, this crap's expensive. Alright, that should do it. Alright, so, and after I bring this other large tree into this section, about right here, I'm going to bring some bushes in. So let me, ooh, where did I pick that particular color up from? Holy crap. That's not good. Where'd that come from? You move. You'll get out of my paint. Alright. We'll load this bad boy up. And I'm going to come right into here. I think that feels right. I think that feels right. Yeah, it does feel right. So we're going to come... Decisions. Big tree. Do I want it here? Or do I want it here? Where do I want it? Yeah, okay, I got it. Alright, so we're going to bring it a big tree. And we're going to smash the crap out of it. Because we're bringing it to the forefront. Boom. Beautiful. That brought that right on up. Okay. Everybody stand by. Stand by, truck driver, stand by. I need another brush. I need a brush. That one over there will do. Excuse me. That's the one I want. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in shrubbery. I can do, yeah, I am. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, we don't worry about highlights. All we're worrying about is basically putting stuff down. See, I don't know. What do I feel about that? I don't like that. I don't like the way that's going. So, as I don't like it, let's change it. Let's go with a different brush. Let's get that paint off of there. All right. I'm going to come into here. Come into here. This is all subjective to whatever it is you're feeling at the time. You know? It changes however you want it to change. Alright, so you can't really see what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is I'm laying out where I want things to sit. You know what I'm saying? So everything right now is just a like a shadow. So I'm pressing in paint where I think I might want something. I'm creating depth, but I don't know how I want it to look just yet. Thank you, Tiny Man. Tiny Man the Beast. I appreciate that. Alright, so I'm going to press a little bit more in this section here. And what am I seeing? What is it that I want to happen? I got to make that decision. Okay. All right, let's do a highlight. Let's do a highlight. And I'm going to take, which brush do I want? Which brush do I want indeed? Well, let me clean this off a little bit. Sorry about my balding head. Stand by. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is extremely critical. And a mistake that a lot of people, even myself, well, of course I made the mistake. That's how I learned not to make the mistake. Listen to me sitting here talking like I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm basically a raging idiot. All right, so I want thin. I need thin to go on thick. We'll do the highlight here in just a second, in a moment. So let me mix up a little bit of this blue and the white. I don't want to have it too blue. I want it to be more white in the front. So I'm going to put a little bit of liquid white in here. Let's see what happens here. I can do this multiple ways. I think I'm just going to try it with this first. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going to let's see. I'm going to put a little bit. A little bit right here. bring it into here too. All right, how do I feel about it? How this is laying out? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this layout. I don't know. Is it where I want it to be? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Is that the way I want it to be? Alright, this should be thin enough for me to be able to highlight in the back. So let's do it like this. That's too thick. That's the way. Oh, shoot. Take it easy. Take it easy, Captain. I actually can't see that because of that light glaring on it. There we go. And you want to leave darkness to offset and to create separation between the trees. You don't want to go crazy with it. Let it naturally darken up. Like over here. All right, so there you go. There's some highlights for this layer here. Right. We don't want to go crazy with it because we got another layer. So I'm going to brighten this next layer. I'm going to make it brighter. All right, so let me get that brightened up. Yeah. Alright, put that over there. What are you talking about here? 55 bites. Galley, Hesperia is like 25 miles from my house. Okay. Alright. So let me add some highlights to the front tree. Should be a little bit brighter. Alright. That's a little bit. Alright. Right about there. Alright, so that should add some depth to the foreground and the background. And then from here, we'll blend a little bit in here, make it a little bit lighter inside, in between the bright sections here. Give it a little bit more sparkle. so how am I feeling? How are we feeling? Are we feeling this? Okay, you guys are talking about trucking stuff. Y'all ain't even paying attention to me. Fine. I don't want you to pay attention to me anyway. Alright. Tracking. Nah, I'm just kidding. Alright, let me clean my brushes off a little bit. Alright, so we're going to bring in some foliage. Actually need to bring in another tree here. How do I want this to go? I don't know how I feel about that. I can certainly put in another thing there. Let's build. Let's build a little bit because I don't like this. I need to build something. Here's the thing. I don't quite have the brushes that I like because they're just freaking expensive. So I kind of got to go with what I got. But let me see what we can do here. Let's see. That's a little bit brighter. I like that. Alright, so we're basically building layers. I want to build something about right here. Let's see here. I don't know what's going on with that right there. That's weird. I'm going to put a layer up in there. How do I want to layer it? I know what I want to do. Here, let me have this. I'm just getting paint all over myself. This is getting pathetic. Alright, hold on. Alright. So what I want to do. Uh-oh. So I want to come in, land mass a little bit. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Okay, so we're at a point now where I need to step away for about 5 minutes. Let these brushes soak. I'm going to use a couple of them. So that way I can clear my head. I'll go ahead and show you where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now. Alright, that's where we're at currently. And I need to step away, clean my brain out, come back and look at it. We're not done. I just need to let it go, come back and look at it in 5 minutes. Trust me, it's very important to step away from your paintings so that you can, you know, because I may not like any of this whole section. I may not like anything that I'm looking at when I come back. Something else may be very clear to me. You never know. So that's why you got to walk away from it. So 5 minutes, everybody. If anybody new pops in, you know, tell them I'll be right back. But before I go, let me scrape. I don't know, that's still usable. I'm not scraping yet. After these messages, we'll be right back. And this is a mess. Alright, stand by. So is our tarot. We didn't fill this particular space. And we need to do that. So let me get my brushes that I had. How do I want to mix this? Well, I got this fan brush right here. So let's bring a big boy right into here. How much black do I got? Is that black? No, that black's not good enough anymore. So let's use this one over here. Well, I really used the mess out of that one, didn't I? See if we can load the brush up. A snowman? I might be able to do a snowman. Alright, so let's bring in a big daddy tree right about to here. So let's do I got enough? I don't think I have enough on there. Do you want to build a snowman? I don't think I've ever done a snowman. And I've never done a cabin, so you know what? Let's try it. If I fail, I can just start over. Not a biggie. Let's bring in a big daddy tree right, right there. A little bit more paint there. Let me have a little more paint there, driver. More paint. Where's my scraper? Probably put some Prussian blue inside that thing. And we're going to bring that bad boy right down here. Do kind of need a little bit of something right here. A little knife trick to fill that void. There we go. All right. So let's bring Putting some love into that particular section here. Clean this off. And then we're going to take, that'll do right there. Thin goes on thick. You got to remember that. My highlight color needs to be a lot thinner than what I just put on there. Ow, shoot. I just dabbed the mess out of that. Alright, so I need to break that out of there. Ew. Oh, there we go. Alright. And what I need to do. Alright, so let's figure this out. As I've never done a cabin. Never done a cabin before. Huh. This could get interesting. This could get really interesting. Alright, so let me grab some black over here. Add it over here. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see here. How did he do that? See, I've never done this. I'm not really sure how he does it. Well, okay, before I do that, let me scrape it out. Let's see. This could get interesting. Let's see here. Let me bring that out a little bit more. Well, if I get this right, I'll be amazed. Nope, that doesn't seem like it would be right. So how would you do that? I think I need a smaller one, or I need to go wider. Hold on. Let's see. Getting somewhere here. So he always just dragged. And then he did something like that. We're close. We're not quite there, but we're close. All right. Okay, I can actually fix that, so that's actually fine. I can fix it. I just need to know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take it down a little bit further and then do it like that. Okay, I sort of see what he was doing. Okay, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. So he would always drag it down. Well, see, I need to quit doing that. I need to quit doing that one. Okay, so let me put the door in. so that's the outline of it. Yeah. No, it's not too late. Let's see. It's not too late. Never too late to add whatever you want to. Well, let me put this in here. So that doesn't feel too bad. I see. All right, so there's something going on here that's not working though. All right, so let's put some highlight on it. Never too late. Now I may just completely screw it up, but it's not too late. Bring it up a little bit. Bring her right down here. There we go. I don't want to get too wonky with it. And then we'll bring it right over here. Ooh, I think I might have went too. Oh, no. Oh, actually, I gotta fix that. Hang tight. Let's see here. About right there. Alright, so we gotta come down, make it longer. Make a definitive line. Oof. That started to look rough. Oh, shit. Alright. How did he... I think he used this right here. You understand, this is new to me. Whatever I mess up, of course, I can always, fix. Not a big deal. I just rather not mess up, but, we do what we do. Huh. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how he did that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to scrape this line right here. If it ain't working for me. I'm going to fix this. Like I said, the great thing about oil paintings is you can fix whatever you mess up. And to fix it, all I'm going to do, see, I don't like what happened right here, and all I'm going to do is well, let me fix this little section right here real quick. Get my little road going. Darken that up. really matter. All right. A couple things I don't like is this right here. I don't like that. So I want to light. There we go. I like that much better. There we go. There we go. Then I'm going to straighten up my lines. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. We'll take this line out right here. I don't like that. Give a little more defining line there. Just like this. There, a definer. All I'm doing is putting in a little bit of detail. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay. Let me fix that right there. And there's a cabin. All right. Oh, okay. Give me a second here. I'll tilt it up. Alright, so we're not done. So from here I need to bury this section here. Finish it out. Let's go with needs a chimney. Yeah, I believe that was an issue for Mr. Ross as well. He never put chimneys on anything. That's okay. We did a rudimentary outline, put a little bit of detail on it, and whatever we don't like, we can just bury in foliage. Right? Just adding some grass. I want it to be a little bit lighter up there. A little bit lighter right here. These little sections here. Because it's in the front. And I little bit of something back here as well. Yeah, bring these up just a little bit. I can always add a little something right here. Like, I didn't like this line right here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of foliage right there to separate it. And let me get a brush. Let me do this. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, everybody. I'm starting to feel this. I'm feeling it pretty good, actually. Bring that around. Always leave your negative space. You need it. All right. Bring that back over here. Fill in what doesn't feel right. A little bit of light back here. Not a lot, just a little bit. There we go. All right, let me hold it up for you real quick. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can call this one. So if I'm saying that, I need to get my liner brush. Wherefore art thou, Mr. Liner Brush, my very super overpriced sucker. There it is. Okay. So, if we're going to do this, let's grab a little bit of white on a blank space. Yeah, okay. Let's use that. Let me get a little thicker. So I'm going to use a script liner, very thin. Okay, so I'm going to use a script liner brush, and I'm going to do it right down here. See how small I can get it here. A little bit more. There we go. Yeah. And there you go. I think we're calling that. I think we're calling that one done.